Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday evening. I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday evening. My boss at work today kept saying, "Is it Thursday today?" I was like, "No, it's just Tuesday. Don't rush the week." So I am so happy to be here with you tonight. I haven't done a journaling social for a while, so I'm excited to get to be here with you all tonight. My name is Maya, and I am coming to you from Denver, Colorado, technically Aurora, one of the suburbs. And it has been kind of raining off and on for the last several days. So I kind of feel like it's still summer, but some of the heat has died down. And so we've got a little bit cooler. So I feel like it's definitely that end of August. And yes, Monica, things are going well with my new job. New school year. School just started for these kiddos last Tuesday. So it's been kind of fun learning a new district. It's a bigger district, um, second largest in the state of Colorado, actually. And so it's kind of fun. Yeah. So um, tonight we are going to work on a couple of our journal pages. And it's possible that you may have already done these, but I've picked out some fun enchanting songs to use. So hopefully you're just going to spend this hour hanging out with us. You can work on these journal pages, kind of do what you would like. Be sure that you set that chat to everyone, that little blue box down there. It has a obnoxious tendency to flip to host and panelist, which when you do that, the only people who see what you write are myself and my fabulous co-host Katie, who was up late tonight. As if you've been here before, you know that she is across the pond there in Edinburgh, and it's very late there, but she had trivia night tonight, so she was up, and so she decided to join me uh, with all of you to work on these journal pages. So we're glad that she's here, and she'll keep an eye on the chat if you have any questions or anything, need me to go back a slide or something like that. You just let her know. So couple community guidelines, right? Just kind of that housekeeping stuff. We want to make sure that in these socials, you're kind and courteous to both yourself and others. No promotions or spam. We respect everyone's privacy. No hate speech or bullying. We limit those repetitive product and accessory questions. So asking about like what kind of pens people use or markers or stickers, that's fine to ask that. But the focus really is to work on those journal pages tonight. And then any of those customer care inquiries. So questions about billing, about shipping. I feel like the September journals, just FYI, came out kind of late this month. Like I finally got mine last Friday or Saturday. I think it seems like that was a little bit later than they usually are. So if you ever are finding yourself, it's the last week of the month and I don't have my new journal yet, be sure to send an email to that hello@silkandsonder.com to ask them, to make sure if they, a lot of times they should have a tracking number. A lot of times you will get an email with that tracking number, but just in case, and I noticed some people were saying theirs were left in odd places, for some reason this month, like on their porch or some other place. So just know if you are ever having any of those problems with the shipping, with the journal, change your billing, that kind of thing, those all go to hello@silkandsonder.com. And then ultimately, these socials really are a tool to help elevate your emotional health through the power of community. And you know, if you've been with us, we have a wonderful community, super supportive, super creative, super fun. Ultimately, though, you're responsible for your own emotions, well being, and decisions. So if there's ever anything that we're working on that just isn't your jam, you don't want to work on that page, skip to something else, right? You're not stuck doing that. I can't see you. That's the other thing, too. There's no cameras for you, there's no microphones for you. You can be doing whatever you would like in the background. We won't know. And you can participate in the chat as much or as little as you would like. If the music that I'm playing isn't your jam, you can mute that. If my voice isn't your jam, you can mute me. We have closed captioning enabled, so you can always turn that on. Really, this is your hour. This is your hour to do with what you need. Take that time for some self-care. Spend a little time in your journal. Maybe you just want to color. You want to work on the coloring page. Absolutely fine. There's no right or wrong way. This is not a stressor. Katie and I will not come knocking on your door and ask to see your journal and make sure you filled out the right pages, right? It doesn't work like that. This is really about what you need for you. And we are so, so happy that you are here with us tonight. So if you've been following along, yes, Andrea, there's no journal police. So if you've been following along with us this month, enchantment has been the theme for the month. And it's been kind of fun seeing folks kind of digging into that, really seeing what that feels like for them. And I liked this quote that says, enchantment is the oldest form of medicine. And enchantment can be I really like it when I can find things that are enchanting about the typical day, right? Just kind of the everyday magic, the everyday enchantment is always kind of fun. So that's been fun this month to kind of go through that, and hopefully you're feeling enjoying that theme. But I always tell people if the theme of the month is not your jam, you're just not feeling it, pick your own word, right? Pick your own theme. You are not stuck with this. Really, we offer lots of suggestions and lots of activities, but really, this is just for you. To kind of explore yourself a little bit there, kind of thinking about how things are working for you. So, our agenda for tonight, I have a little opening activity for us. Hopefully, it will be fun and kind of relaxing. And then we're going to work on the enchantment log on page 15. Again, if you've already done this, we'll talk about maybe some other things you can do, or maybe you can share what you put in your page 15. And then we'll do my favorites on page 19. So that's our agenda for tonight. So we're going to settle in here and we're going to do this opening activity. This is kind of a little delving into this idea of enchantment. So we call this the melody of enchantment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you close your eyes and I'm just going to have you listen. Think about what sounds that you imagine when you think of enchantment. Is it a tinkling of fairy bells, the deep hum of an ancient spell, the gentle rush of a magic river, or a celestial choir? Just let your mind wander. We're just going to close our eyes and we're just going to let our mind wander. And then on a fresh page in our journal, we're going to try to maybe visually represent the sounds that you're hearing. Maybe it's some abstract shapes. Maybe it's swirling lines. Maybe it's little stars. Maybe it's symbolic music notes. And then as you're drawing, you're going to jot down a few words describing the melody of your enchantment and what feeling that evokes. Okay, so in kind of atypical fashion, I'm going to give you a minute with no sound, right? I'm just going to let you think of this, think about the sounds that you imagine when you think of enchantment. And then I'm going to play some music. And I say a short piece of music, but actually I have several fun pieces of music to play. And then as you're listening to that, I also have some pictures that I'm going to cycle through. So just kind of let those sounds and the pictures guide your imagination. Maybe what enchanted scene or feeling does this melody bring to mind? Colors or creatures or magical events that unfold as you listen. So this is going to be your meditation moment on a Tuesday. So again, I'm not going to play anything for about a minute, which is a long time. And then I'll start playing some music. Okay, so you can feel free to put in the chat kind of like what you're thinking, or you can just literally just sit there quietly, maybe take a nice deep breath in and just kind of release. What do you hear? What are those sounds that you think of when you think of enchantment? So I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to turn my camera off. It's going to be a minute of silence, and then I'm going to play some music. right. I loved reading in the chat the different sounds that people were thinking of, the bells, the wind chimes, birds, the kind of babbling brook. I think I have found that I actually enjoy the sound of a babbling brook over waves crashing on the beach. I don't get me wrong, I love the beach and the waves on the beach, but I always kind of feel like the waves crashing on the beach is a little intense and unrelenting, whereas I feel like the babbling brook is kind of more calming and flowing. But that's just me, right? So I would highly recommend um, as we've been thinking about enchantment this month and the different things that you've been thinking of, put together a playlist of some songs, the sounds that you came up with. Like literally, I just kind of typed into the search in Spotify enchanting music or fairy music or bells or bird songs or those kinds of things, and make yourself a nice little enchanting playlist. So anytime things are feeling a little stressful, feeling a little much, give yourself, maybe 5 or 10 minutes just to kind of listen, close your eyes, find some fun pictures, and just relax and take that time to be enchanted. And then it might make the rest of your day go by a little easier, a little better. So thank you for indulging me in some fun sounds and thinking about the melody of enchantment. And now let's go to page 15. Let's get into our journals. And if you don't have the August journal, no worries. You can just write this on some scratch paper. If you've got your September journal already, you can do this on a blank page there. Absolutely fine. Over on page 15. And there is an enchantment log. And they want you to write down moments throughout this month that bring you joy and wonder. So some of you may have already done this, and that's okay, right? If you've been doing it kind of as the days go by, notice that it only goes to 22. So today is day 26. So if you've been doing it every single day, you might be all done. But if you haven't had a chance to do this, maybe you've been working in your gratitude jar and you haven't really been looking at this. This is a great opportunity to think of some different things that could go on these lines. And I feel like this last week of August, as we get ready to move into September, it really is kind of that summer giving way to fall. And I liked these two little quotes. The one says, "Summer said in shades of blue, let me be young a few days more. Walk forward," autumn whispered, "there's a colorful horizon to explore." So I kind of like this idea of summer in shades of blue, and then autumn in this colorful horizon, and then summer and fall waltzed to the wind in a stolen sweet romance. So that's kind of what I feel like this week is this kind of moving into. And we're going to have Labor Day this weekend, and you'll be seeing lots of lots of Katie and I, because we will be Katie and me, because we will be doing a lot of the socials this weekend. So if you're there for some of those setups, we will enjoy that. So if you have not filled this out yet and you're wondering, "Oh, I don't know what to put in here for these," yeah, it's Labor Day weekend already, Tina. I don't know what to put in for these enchanting moments. So think about everyday wonders, right? Maybe things that seem a little mundane, but when you stop and observe them, they can fill you with joy and wonder. So any kind of small little details. Some of you are noticing small details with the sounds. Maybe those are things that you can fill in. Maybe it's some sensory experiences, the smell of rain right now, or even the sound of thunder. So think of those five senses. Maybe it's simple pleasures like the comfort of a purring pet, a perfect uninterrupted 10 minutes to read a book, watching a bird land on a branch, a moment of relief when you take your shoes off after a long day. Maybe you want to focus on some human connections. Maybe it's small, meaningful interactions that you've had. So maybe it's a heartfelt laugh with a friend or a loved one, the feeling of support you get, simple joy sharing a meal with someone you care about. Maybe it's acts of kindness. Maybe it's a stranger holding a door for you, a kind text message from a friend, the feeling of being listened to and truly understood, giving a small compliment to someone and seeing them smile. Maybe you want to focus on personal growth and reflection. So, acknowledging the magic that you find within yourself. And that's one of the things that I love about Silk and Sonder is I think when I work through a lot of these journal prompts each month, I really think I learn more about myself. And so that can be an enchanting moment. So, self discovery may be a moment when you felt truly confident or at peace with yourself, a new skill you learned that you're proud of, a time you overcame a small fear. Maybe it's nostalgia and dreams. Maybe it's a happy memory that came to mind and made you smile, a thought or an idea that gave you a rush of excitement for the future. So I just popped in mine. I haven't finished my enchantment log yet, but I popped that in what I have in there now. And then I threw in some pictures to go with what I had written for some of those. The bottom one is a turkey. There was a wild turkey, but it was not, I mean, it was in the wild, but it was in the city by this old building that I happened to walk by. And there was this whole little flock of turkeys, which was kind of interesting. So I had a little picture of them. Um, Clouds. I have tons of pictures out plane windows, and I always love the clouds. To me, they're always very enchanting. I always feel like you should be able to like squish them and touch them. And then I enjoy making face pictures with my food. So that's my avocado toast with some hard-boiled egg and a pineapple smile. So those are my enchantment logs. And I saw things that folks writing in the chat, cooking with fruit I've grown. I love that idea. I had a peach cobbler the other day that someone had made with the Palisade peaches from here in Colorado that was like super, super good. Um, what else? I was celebrating my grandmother's 100th birthday this last weekend. Happy birthday, Grandma. That's amazing. Doggy snuggles. Those are always good. Anytime those little pet snuggles are good. Scheduling time in the spa, definitely that can be really helpful. So I will let you think of this. Feel free to share in the chat. I'll play just a little bit of music to help you work on this section, and then we'll check back in just a moment. And I'll cycle through those other slides that give you some ideas for things that you could use to fill these lines with. All right. Thank you all for sharing in the chat all of the different things that you either have put on your enchantment log or that you want to put on there. I did see folks talking about, I think today was the day Starbucks brought out their fall drinks and the fall foods with the cream cheese, pumpkin muffins, and the pumpkin spice lattes. I might have to, maybe I'll have to go do that tomorrow. I don't know. Or maybe I'll save it for the weekend. I don't know. But that's definitely something I enjoy. I also, speaking of enchantment and pumpkin spice and those kinds of things, I'm a big Disneyland fan, and we're going at the end of September. And I saw they have a new, I don't know if you've seen the Loungefly, the little backpacks that they have, the cute little Disney backpacks. They have one that's, it looks like it's knitted, and I'm a big knitter, so it looks like a big knitted orange pumpkin Loungefly backpack with the ears, matching ears. And so those came in the mail today. And guess what? It's actually scented. So it smells like pumpkin spice. So I'm very excited. That's my enchantment for the day for sure. So did I need to spend that money on that? No. Does it bring me a lot of joy and enchantment? Yes, yes, it does. So I'll be wearing that and taking that with me when we go at the end of the month. So I think that will be fun. So a lot of folks talking about I really like how a lot of you are embracing the enchantment in the everyday, right? Everyday things that can be enchanting. And someone talked about that idea of how important it is to really be fully present in the moment, because it's hard to be enchanted when your mind is racing off to the future or racing off to other things, or you're multitasking. I don't know if you had a chance to do the daily ritual in the app today, but it was kind of about that idea. So very, very important to take that time to really be present, to really enjoy what you are experiencing so that you can be enchanted, so that it is fun and you do enjoy it. So I love that you all were able to take some time to let me know and let everyone else know the kinds of things that you were putting on your enchantment log for the month. So let's flip over now to page 19, still keeping that enchantment theme front and center. So we are going to do my favorites. And if you've been with us for a while, you know that we frequently will have a my favorites page. And this one has been kind of one of the most interesting ones, because it really is about things that are magical and fairy tales and enchanting. And I haven't really seen us do one like that before. So this is kind of fun. So hopefully, if you haven't had a chance to do that, this is your time to work on this now. And if you already have, you can share with us the kinds of things maybe that you put in some of these different ways. So I gave you some ideas of things to think about for each one of these. So my favorite magical moment in nature, really think about a time you felt deeply connected to nature. Maybe it was watching a sunset or hearing those waves we talked about, the babbling brook, the birds. My favorite unexpected surprise, recall a surprise that brought you joy. Maybe it was an impromptu visit from a friend or finding something that you thought you lost. I always think that is very enchanting when I find something I thought I had lost. My favorite ways to experience wonder, thinking of activities that fill you with awe, like stargazing or visiting a museum. My favorite place that feels like a sanctuary. Picture a spot where you feel at peace. Maybe it's a cozy nook at home or a quiet park. My favorite memory that feels like a fairy tale. Recall a magical memory, maybe from travel or childhood, that felt enchanting. My favorite way to spark joy in others. Think about those little things that you do to make others smile, maybe sending a handwritten note or sharing a funny story. My favorite dream or vision. Consider a dream that excites you, whether it's a place you want to explore or a project that you're passionate about. My favorite source of inspiration. Identify what lights your creative spark. Maybe it's a favorite book or an artist or a place, or it could be a song or a sound. My favorite way to embrace curiosity. Reflect on playful ways you explore new ideas, like trying a new hobby or reading about different cultures. Or maybe it's trying a new food. I saw a lot of people had been making the recipe in this month's journal and said it was really good. So I might have to try that. You know, way back in the day, we used to, when Karen was one of our facilitators, we used to actually have a cooking social where we would cook together. I keep thinking maybe we need to try and bring that back on maybe a quarterly basis or something like that, because it was always kind of fun to be cooking with everyone. And then my favorite way to connect with my inner child, consider activities that bring out your playful side, like maybe drawing or dancing or building something fun. So mine is over on the left. I have not filled it all out yet, but I have some. So my magical moment in nature was watching the sunrise at Haleakala National Park on Maui. If you ever get a chance to go to Maui and you can get up early enough to go see the sunrise, and drive up there or take a tour that gets up there early, it is quite lovely. My favorite way to spark joy in others is to make up funny songs or funny lyrics for songs. My favorite way to experience wonder is to visit someplace new, someplace different, which actually has been kind of nice with this new job. I'm now in a part of town that I hadn't frequently been to before. And so it's been kind of fun. It's been a little enchanting and experiencing wonder with finding new things. My favorite place that feels like a sanctuary, I would definitely say either a library or a bookstore. It's definitely kind of a sanctuary, and someplace with nice comfy chairs and lots of books. Or it could be a yarn store. I always think there should be like a book and yarn store together, and coffee maybe also. My favorite way to embrace curiosity is to read. And my favorite way to connect with my inner child is to go to Disneyland. And so I saw some folks writing some different things for them. Sunrise on Mount Fuji, that must have been beautiful. A lot of sunrises, sunrise in a hot air balloon. Sunrise and sunset, I always think are just very magical and enchanting. Several months ago when we were in Southern California, the sun was setting in a particularly beautiful way, and we were we were chasing it in the car. I was like, go, go, we need to get to the beach and see the sunset. And it was very fun. It was kind of a fun little moment to chase the sunset as it was going down. I was trying to see some other things that people have. Oh, seeing the Taj Mahal, Lori, that must have been lovely. Watching a full moon rise from an airplane. I saw the Northern Lights from an airplane window one time. That was really fun. Sitting on the beach and watching the sunset. I do think it's lovely. Um, Sunset and the water is always very pretty. And then you can see I only found one person that had posted so far their favorites in Sonder Club. So I did pop those in here, and I really like how she used one word for most of the items. Right. So favorite source of inspiration was listening. Favorite way to embrace curiosity was to explore. That's definitely a fun way to see those things. So I am going to be quiet and play some more relaxing, fun, enchanting music. Feel free to kind of keep sharing there in the chat. Oh, Courtney says my sanctuary is being on stage. I love that. That's very fun. So I definitely want to hear some of your favorites. I think today's question in Sonder Club was favorite way to connect to inner child. So that's kind of a fun little question in there as well. So I'll play some music. I'll go back to this page in case you want some ideas for what to put in there, and then we'll check back in and wrap things up. Oh, right. I have so enjoyed reading everyone's favorites in the chat. Oh, these are it's actually orange. If you can see them. I like the Olive and June um, fingernail polish, and they always have fun colors. So I've been alternating this summer between the orange, and they have like this fun light blue. So to me, painting my fingernails is a little enchanting with some of the fun colors that I can use. So thank you all for sharing all the fun things in the chat. We know Courtney's going to end up on Broadway. She's going to get that call to go fill in for someone in Oklahoma. My nephew actually they did that play I think in high school. I think it was earlier this year. Super fun. Definitely enjoy that. So hopefully you've had some time to think of your favorites. Again, this is always a fun little activity to do. And if there's one that you're like, I can't actually think of something for this box, then maybe that's your cue to go and make your own enchantment, make your own favorite in one of those areas, and so that you can fill that box in. So um, thank you all so much for being here and for sharing and for having fun in the chat. I hope this was relaxing and enjoyable and kind of a fun beginning of the week. Kind of get yourself in gear for the rest of the week. Please feel free to share any of these pages in Sonder Club. We love to show examples of what other folks have done, and it always is inspiring for those who didn't get to come to the social to be able to see things that folks have done. I did want to mention, if you haven't seen, Meha, our founder, is doing a little fall reset, back to school, back to you tomorrow. It is free, and it's from 6 to 7 Mountain Time. Um, I did notice that she had posted that it had sold out, but they opened up more seats. So please make sure that you register. It will be a lot of fun. And I'm not sure, I know they'll probably record it, but I don't know if it'll be on the YouTube channel. And I'm not sure if folks will get that unless you actually attend or sign up to attend. So be sure you check that out. And Katie is popping some links in there as well. I am so glad. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I thought it was very fun. I really enjoyed finding some fun, enchanting music to play for you all while you worked on those pages. Bridget, if you paid for an event but you weren't able to go, you should get a link for that. If you didn't pay for it but you want to see a replay, you can send an email to hello@silkandsonder.com. And if you want to pay for the event, they will send you the recording. So you can get those. So hopefully I will maybe see some of you there. Again, you won't have your cameras or microphones on. It will just be Meha. And I think Jen O, our other fabulous facilitator, is going to be stage managing that. But I'm hoping to attend as an attendee because I think it will be really fun. And Katie's popping in some daily ritual links in there. So if you missed one, Bridget, just send that email to hello@silkandsonder and they can get you taken care of because they are recorded. Let's see what else. The YouTube channel that has lots of our free, there's over 1,000 different socials. If you ever want to find, you could go back to a really old one where we had like curiosity for 1 month, and you can find some fun socials because you don't actually have to have the journal. You can do some of this journaling stuff on blank paper. So hopefully you've signed up for some weekend setups. We've got, believe it or not, September. We're going to set up the September month this weekend. We are going to do a weekly setup that will actually be set up for September. And if you know me, I'm super excited about September because it actually starts on the 1st is a Monday. The 1st is a Monday. So excited. I just feel like everything would be so much nicer if all the months would start on a 1st, and then we would just have 13 months and it would be fine. When I rule the world, that will happen. So just so you know. So thank you again for joining us, for sharing your enchantment this evening. And I hope to see you all again very soon. Take care, everyone.
Last night I gave up on myself. never